What's up guys, this is Christian Wants to Battle, or you can just call me Christian, and today I'm going to be going over the team that I drafted for the King of Games Draft League. The King of Games Draft League is a league that I'm hosting, and it's basically a test league. I wanted to try out a few things, and I didn't really grab a lot of coaches just because this is a test league. I didn't see the point of having 10 to 16 coaches. So I only have 6, and they're pretty close friends of mine, so I don't have to worry about them or anything. Also, it's a 3DS draft league, so that kind of has a place in the fact that we only have 6. We wanted to do a 3DS only draft league because, it's something new. We've never done that before, and honestly, I wanted to try that out. I understand that everybody doesn't have access to genning, so that's probably another reason why we only have 6 coaches. Another thing is we wanted it to be a shorter draft just because we have another draft coming up, which is the LUPD Season 2, and we don't really want to be focusing on this. This is basically just to have fun and try some things out. So another thing that we're trying out is the WBE style, which is essentially the GBA style with the addition of drafting Z crystals, which we all thought that was pretty interesting, and I want to see how that works out. I was definitely interested when A Drive did his draft, and I wanted to implement it in this one. Now, the last thing we definitely wanted to try out was something that I've never really seen in a draft league, which is the best of 3 system for playoffs. Now, most sporting events, they have a best of 7 for playoffs. So I wanted to try this out. I'm not going to make my coaches do best of 7, but I definitely wanted to try out best of 3 and kind of see if that helps. A lot of people, they lose because of hacks or just a bad day or what have you, and I think a best of 3 really showcases more skill. So coaches will be able to mix up their teams a little bit in between playoff games, and I think it would be interesting. I definitely wanted to try it out, especially since this is such a short draft league. I think that it would be interesting. So going into my team, I am the Vegas Dragonites. I am the first overall pick because we did a tournament at the beginning and I won the tournament, so my prize was to be the first pick. I wanted to make my team pretty much, I don't know how to say it. It's like I wanted to be able to be offensive and defensive. I wanted to, Pokemon to be able to use physical attacks and special attacks. I just wanted to be, I wanted to be a surprise. I didn't want my opponent to be prepared. I didn't want my opponent to be prepared for anything I was going to throw out there. So I definitely wanted to pick Pokemon that's based around that concept. My first Pokemon was something I definitely wanted to pick up first because even though this is only a 6-coach draft league, this Pokemon is generally picked up first because it's so good. I wanted to pick it up because basically it's the glue of my team. I didn't really, if I didn't have this Pokemon, it would be bad news bears is what I'm saying. So I picked up Tapu Koko, which I'm gonna be nicknaming Tapu Hey Hey, which is based off that chicken from Moana. Tapu Koko has it has one thing that I'm looking for. It's able to be a physical attacker and it's able to be a special attacker, and it has an amazing speed stat. Base 130 is an amazing speed tier. It has a great ability, which is Electric Surge, and with that Electric Train, it will definitely help out the rest of my team, just with any electric moves that they may have. And I don't really want my Pokemon to be falling asleep on the job, so I think that's a pretty cool ability. I've never used a physical Koko, but I really hope I get to with this draft league. So I thought that was a really great pick. It has U-Turn, Volt Switch, Wild Charge, Brave Bird. It has Defog. I don't really know if I'm going to be using that, but this is a draft league. Anything can happen. So I thought that was really cool, and I was glad I got to pick that up, and I was glad to snag it. The next team was going to be, well, it's a team that was based off of this Pokemon, so I was like, I really want to pick this up first. So my next Pokemon is going to be a Pokemon I'm very familiar with, and it actually is it basically represents all that I want in this team. So I'm going to be picking up my Mega, which is going to be Mega Venusaur, which I'm going to be naming after Marc-Andre Fleury, which is the goalie for the Vegas Golden Knights. His nickname for the hockey is Flower. So it kind of fit because Mega Venusaur is a flower, and I thought it was a pretty great fit. It's a defensive mon, but the thing about this Pokemon is it can be offensive or defensive. It has base 100 plus stats in all offensive and defensive options. It has the ability to go physical and special, and I thought that was really great. I definitely want to utilize that. I usually go a more defensive route with Venusaur, so I want to try to use an offensive Venusaur. I want to try to use that. I definitely want to really shake up my opponent by bringing that, and it has a pretty decent speed tier, and it has a great ability in Thick Fat, which basically cancels out 2 of its weaknesses. So it only has weakness to flying and Psychic, I believe. Yeah, so I really can't wait to use this. It's my favorite Pokemon, so I definitely wanted to pick that up next. And since I was the first pick, I actually got 2 picks. So my next pick after Venusaur was Kyurem Black. Now I watch a lot of draft leagues, and Kyurem Black is a monster in draft leagues. I've never really used one before. I've used it in the OU tier, but I never really used it in draft league, so I can't wait to see what it does. I've seen people use Choice Band, Choice Scarf, which I might be using more than not, Life Orb, and they use Z-Move. So I named him Carlson after the center on the Vegas Golden Knights. I think this is going to be my kill leader, personally. It has 125 HP, which I think is pretty great. It has great defenses to complement that as well. It has 170 attack. Now the only thing it lacks is physical attacks, but it does have some hard hitting physical attacks like Outrage, and Fusion Bolt. It has that as well. And to be honest, it doesn't really need its attack as much because it has special attack, 120 special attack. That's pretty darn good. It has Earth Power, it has Flash Cannon, it has Ice Beam, it has Draco Meteor. These are great moves to have on a wall breaker such as Kyurem Black. So I'm expecting this to do great things for my team, and I can't wait to try it out, especially in Draft League. And also mixed with Tapu Koko, holy cow, like that's basically the best offensive core anybody can have in the OU tier. I just can't wait to use it. I think it's going to be a great mon to use. I definitely think it's going to be a kill leader, so I can't wait. My next Pokemon, I noticed that the problem with last year, or last draft league that I was in, I had a great team, but what I wish I had, or I wish I changed, was my fire type. I wanted to have a really good fire type. I had Typhlosion, and that wasn't good. I'm gonna be honest, that really wasn't a good mon. And I just wanted to try out. I wanted to have a Pokemon that I'm comfortable with in regards to a fire type, and I wanted kind of something to complement my Venusaur, because I'm trying to complete the fire, water, grass core, and I'm also trying to complete the fairy, dragon, and steel core. So I want to try to complete my cores within these first, 6 picks. So I definitely wanted to pick a fire type up, a really good one. So I picked up Arcanine. This is my favorite fire type, other than Charizard. And I named him, and I might mess this up, so whatever. I named him after a One Piece character. He is the captain, or I think he's an admiral, my bad. Admiral of the Marines, and his name is Akainu. I said that right, I think. I said it slow, but I said it right. So I named him after that, which means Red Dog, and I thought that was pretty fitting. But he has an amazing ability in Intimidate, and if I really want to Flash Fire, I don't really think I'm going to use Flash Fire, but I think that's a pretty cool ability. He has pretty amazing stats across the board. He has 90 HP and defenses to complement that. His 80 defense is definitely boosted from the Intimidate, and also because he has Will-O-Wisp. I can see this being a huge physical wall. I usually run him as a physical wall with what's that called? Rocky Helmet, and he has pretty great. Well, no, he has great attack and special attack capabilities. I definitely can run him as either an attacker or a physical attacker or a special attacker, and I can run him as a defensive wall. So it definitely does fit the criteria of my team. As you can probably tell, I have two more physical attackers that can go either physical, or I'm sorry, I have two attackers that can either go physical or special, and then I have two walls that can also, honestly go physical. Like, I've never really used a physical attacking Arcanine, but I've seen people use Banded, E-Speed, I've seen people do Banded, Flare Blitz, Wild Charge is on this thing, so, if I have, Electric Terrain up and, a Water type wants to come in on my Arcanine, that thing's about to get blown back, okay, with a Wild Charge. So I really like this Pokemon. I definitely am glad I picked it up. I definitely wanted a better fire type than I've had in my last draft league. So I'm really happy I have this Pokemon. So my next Pokemon, because I had two picks, is going to be Empoleon. I wanted to have a Defogger and I wanted to have a Hazard Setter. So I was looking and I was thinking about Metagross as my steel type, but I was like, I also need a water type and I also need something that defogs hazard. So I looked at Empoleon and I was like, that's my boy, because not only does it have defog and it's a hazard setter, it's also going to be completing both my water, grass and fire core, also my steel, fairy and dragon core. So Mumble over here is going to be my boy for sponging hits for Venusaur, because it also resists both of the types that Venusaur is pretty much hurt from, and it's going to be also great for. I mean, I can run it as an assault vest. I've been thinking about this a little bit. I can run it as an assault vest. I can run it with Chuckberry. I can run it with leftovers. It has the Tornadus ability, but it also has Defiant, which I can run it physically if I really wanted to. Here, what's it? It has 86 attack. I mean, it's decent, but with the Defiant boost, it's gonna be better. So, I mean, I wanted a Pokemon that can complement Venusaur, especially since my Grass, Fire, Water core, I wanted more defensive, and then my Fairy, Dragon, and Steel core, I wanted it to be more offensive, and I think Empoleon can fit both of those roles. So I definitely wanted a Pokemon like that. So I decided to opt out of Metagross and pick this one up, and I'm pretty happy with my choice. Now, after Empoleon, it started getting a little shaky. I really did not know what I wanted after that. It was pretty interesting. I went into this draft pretty blind. So I was looking in, I believe this is tier 4 now. Yeah, I skipped tier 2. Okay, and I'll explain that later. But excuse me. I wanted a Pokemon that was good in tier 4. I already made it all the way to tier 4, and I didn't really know what to pick. I was looking at two Pokemon. I was looking at Linude, and I was looking at Linude, and I was looking at Swellow. I decided to go with Swellow. My friend Jesse actually picked up Linude, which kind of scares me. So I picked up Swellow because, again, I'm looking for offensive physical attacker and special attacker, and I'm also looking for something to assuage the whole weakness to Earth, because I have 3 Pokemon weak to Earth out of the 5 that I've drafted, and 2 Pokemon that don't even resist it, but they can take a hit, but still. So I wanted a Pokemon that obviously had resisted or could fly or levitate, whatever. So I picked up Ace, and I regret my decision immediately. I really don't like. It's not a bad Pokemon. It was one of the top kill leaders of LUPD Season 1, but I don't really think it really fits my team. So I actually, at the end of the day, traded it because we have a week 0, and I decided to trade it out for another Pokemon that's in the same tier, which is going to be Envy, my Ditto. I chose this thing because I noticed in this draft league there's a lot of setup Pokemon, and I was not having it. I did not want to get swept. I'm tired of that bull crap, and I wanted to have a Pokemon that can basically copy anybody that comes in and tries to set up, and I'm able to pick them off. I think that this is a great way to basically have other coaches kind of think twice before battling me, because I don't really want to have to deal with their setup. I am pretty happy with this choice. I wish I kind of made this before, but it is what it is. I got it now. It just kind of costed me it costed me a free agent pick. So I have 4 for this draft league, and this was one of them. And so I'm pretty content with my team other than that, but that was a pretty killer right there. I should have just picked that first. Or Linoon. I should have picked Linoon first, or I don't know. But that's there just because of things like Linoon, so that's pretty cool. And then my other pick was a Z Crystal. So I got my little Dragonite with holding the Electrium Z. I chose the Electrium Z because if you look back, I have Tapu Koko, which can utilize that with Thunderbolt. I have Carlson over here with my Kieran Black, which can utilize that with Fusion Bolt. And I have Arcanine, which can definitely benefit from that with Wild Charge. So I definitely wanted to do the Electrium Z. If anything, I would have probably gone Icium Z, but that really wouldn't have made sense because only Carlson would have probably utilized that. Maybe also Mumble, but honestly, I don't go back on my decision. I like the Electrium Z. Anyways, so my next pick after that is going to be actually Killer Frost. So, I guess I could have used Icium Z for that one as well. Actually, now I'm looking at it, I could have probably used Icium Z for a few other months. But I liked Electrium Z, and I'm going to stand by my choice. So, Killer Frost right here, right? Alolan Ninetales, it's kind of a repeating of types, which is something I didn't really want to do. But I really like the idea. So one of the other teams in this draft league has Weather. So I wanted something that kind of counteracts that, and also something that I've never used before. I've never used an Alolan Ninetales before, and I've seen it kind of wreck draft leagues in the sense of I've seen A-Drive use it, and I really liked it. And it has Aurora Veil, which is really nice. But again, it is kind of a conflicting type because it is a fairy type, so Tapu Koko, and then it has a ice type, which is again Kieran Black. But I just wanted it basically for the Aurora Veil, and to kind of sweep away any weather that my team wants to, or other opponents want to bring. So I really like this one. I really like the support that I can have, and it has Encore, has Moonblast, and it has this really cool move called what's it called? I forgot the move. It's a nice move. Freeze Dry. Yes. Okay. Sorry, that was a derp moment right there. Freeze Dry. So yeah. I'm really glad I picked this one up. I'm also glad I called it Killer Frost. Now I was thinking about also calling it Caitlyn Snow, but Killer Frost seemed pretty cool. I really like DC. Well, I really like the Flash, I should say. So I was a fan of that, and I wanted to call it Killer Frost. So my next mon, it kind of doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna be honest. It doesn't make sense because I have this Pokemon. But I need I needed another hazard removal mon, so and this also has the capability of hazards, so I definitely want to pick this one up, which is going to be my Claydol. And holy cow, I'm gonna mess this name up. Shakawamon. It's a Digimon. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce that name, but it's whatever. It has rapid spin. It has stealth rocks. I believe it has stealth rocks, right? Yeah, it has stealth rocks, rapid spin, sweet. Light screen, reflect. It has explosion, which would be pretty nice. It has pretty good special attack, right? It's all right. And it has decent. I guess I could go either or. It has great defenses, speeds. But yeah, it's only basically there because I needed rapid spin support and possibly hazard. So I'm pretty happy. I'm glad you're on the team, Claydol, and I hope you do well. I don't honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it, but I probably will. I don't really know though. My next choice is gonna be my Garbodor. I needed hazard support, and I named this one My Channel because My Channel is pretty trash. It has pretty great abilities, decent defenses. Its ability is Aftermath, so it might, a physical attacker. Actually, no, it's if this Pokemon is KO'd with a contact. Okay, so yeah, physical attacker might think twice before messing me over. And then it has this stench ability. So my friend Carl, who beat me in LUPD Season 1, he actually suggested to me one time, because I had a poison. I don't even know if he remembers this, but I had a poison E4 team. And he suggested a Choice Scarf Stench set. I thought that was pretty interesting. I remember that all this time because I really want to utilize that. I think that's a pretty cool idea, and I might take him up on that. But either or, the reason I basically got this was because I needed hazards, right? Because this thing gets toxic spikes, it gets spikes, spikes. It has Autonomize. It has explosion. It has pretty good coverage. It has I believe it had where was it? Clear Smog. It has haze, gunk shot, drain punch. A lot of Pokemon have protect. Pain split. Rock polish. It just has a lot. It has Thunderbolt. That's interesting. It has a lot of great utility to it, and I think it's going to be a great addition to my team. I just wanted a Hazardmon, and I honestly just wanted Garbodor because I kind of like it, Garbodor. I think it's a pretty cool mon. It's a pretty cool poison type, and I've never used it, so I wanted to try it out. Has pretty interesting abilities, so yeah, I wanted to try it out. So my next Pokemon, I noticed that even though I have Empoleon and I have my Claydol, I wanted a Pokemon that can definitely take physical attacks, psychic attacks. And I kind of wanted I just wanted in general, a Pokemon that can take that, because not a lot of Pokemon on my team can, especially with Venusaur. I wanted a dark type, but in tier 5, because I pretty much already used up my, points, there's not a lot of dark type. Actually, there's only, I think, one dark type that's worth it, right? So I picked up this Pokemon, right? Which is going to be my Babycell Duosion. I could have picked up Volibee, which would have been another defogger, but I kind of didn't want to. Now that I think about it, I probably should have, just because I think it'd be pretty funny. But no, I wanted Babycell over here because it has the Regenerator ability, and it has Magic Guard, and it has a great move pool. Like, it has Calm Mind, Endeavor, Energy Ball, Explosion if I really wanted to, Flash Cannon, Light Screen. I'm pretty sure it has Reflect. If not, well, Light Screen's nice. It has really great utility. Pain Split. I think it has Recover as well. There's Reflect. There it is. Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is a really good move. And I named it Babycell because I'm a DBZ fan. I really didn't know what to name this thing, honestly. So I was sitting there, and a lot of people make some pretty terrible jokes with this Pokemon, so I didn't want to be like that. But I chose Babycell. I feel like that would have been that's sufficient. I was thinking all their names like Flubber or I don't know, mitosis or mitoses. I don't know. I really like Babycell though as the name. But anyways, I thought this was a pretty cool Pokemon. It has Psychic obviously and Sight Shock. I can't wait to use it. Most likely, I'm just gonna be honest, it's just gonna be Eviolite, just like Volby would have been. But I think this is a great mon. It has great coverage, pretty decent defenses, you know, and it has 125 special attack, which I thought was pretty interesting. But yeah, I just picked it up because I needed another Psychic Sponge. But yeah, so my last pick is actually gonna be this Hawlucha. Now this is tier 2, and now the only reason I kept it last was because I know that no one was gonna pick it up. Like, I have a Tapu Koko. What would the point of having a Hawlucha be? You know, if you didn't have any of the Tapus, which none of them drafted, there would be no point whatsoever to have a Hawlucha. That's just, in my opinion, a waste of a tier 2 pick, unless they were trying to screw me over, you know what I mean? So I waited till the end. I didn't really care. So obviously I have this Hawlucha because of my Tapu Koko. Electric Seed is a really good option for it. It has an amazing ability on Burden, which, you know, once it uses that Electric Seed, it's able to double its speed. I don't even have to have Electric Seed. I can, you know, if I didn't bring Coco, I could have a different, you know, I could have a Berry, I could have a Focus Sash, I could have, you know, whatever that will be popped instantly, and, you know, I have double speed or whatever. I have Mold Breaker as an ability. It has pretty good stats. I've used this I've used this with Tapu Koko in a few of my matches. In fact, it's on my Elite Four champion team. So I definitely have fun with this. This is probably my favorite combination. You know, and I love having Rain with it. It's just a fun combo. It has Acrobatics, which gets doubled once, you know, again, the item is used or whatever. It has Drain Punch, Swords Dance. It has Thunder Punch, so if, you know, I want to utilize that terrain. You know, Fire Punch. It's just a great mon in general as U-turn. Yeah, I really like this mon, and I named him Nacho after Nacho Libre. So, yep, that's gonna be my team, guys. I'm pretty happy on how this draft went. I picked up every mon that I wanted, and, you know, I picked up some mons that I think they're gonna be fun to use. So, looking at other teams, I'm facing Brandon first, which, you know, if you guys saw my ranking system, I put him last, but definitely very nervous for my battle with him. And then after that, I'm battling Jesse, which is, oh my gosh, like, that's gonna be pretty rough. Jesse's a really good battler, and both of them really good, so it's just gonna be a rough first 2 weeks. I feel prepared. I think this team definitely has the ability to win, but yeah, I don't know. You never know, right? I thought I had the ability to win in season 1 of LUPD, but I got messed over. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was well played. Oh my gosh! If you guys haven't seen that, I definitely think you guys should. It was a really close battle, but I'm gonna be trying to get my revenge in season 2. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I can't wait to get started with this season. I hope to keep you guys updated. I'm gonna try to upload battles, but again, my internet kind of sucks. So that kind of sucks, but I'll try to figure it out, guys. I hope you guys have a great day.